Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Revelation End Times. Today's lesson will be titled The Nature of Things. Subtitled, This is also the nature of what is a influencer and a follower. With that being said, let's continue. So here's the nature of things. Here is how Facebook, Instagram, and all other social media are being used today. Before I go deep into it, let's start from the beginning, right? So, before Lucifer became Satan, Ezekiel 28:12 to 19 describes how perfect Satan was, and it also explained how his beauty caused him to sin. Iniquity was found in him. Let's read Ezekiel 28:12 to 19. So actually, we are going to read verse 12, verse 17, and verse 15 as well. And we're going to read verse 18. Perfect. So, verse 12, Son of man, take up a lament upon the king of Tyre, and say unto him, Thus saith the Lord, Thou sealest up the sun, full of wisdom and perfect in beauty. Verse 15, Thou wast perfect in thy ways from the day that thou wast created, till iniquity was found in thee. Verse 17, Thine heart was lifted up because of thy beauty. Thou hast corrupted thy wisdom by reason of thy brightness. I will cast thee to the ground. I will lay thee before kings, that they may behold thee. And last but not least, verse 18. Thou hast defiled thy sanctuaries by the multitude of thy iniquities, by the iniquity of thy traffic. Therefore will I bring forth a fire from the midst of thee. It shall devour thee, and I will bring thee to ashes upon the earth, in the sight of all them that behold thee. Okay, with that being said, we also know that with Satan's fall in pride, he took a few angels with him. Revelation 12 and verse 4 says, And his tail drew the third part of the stars of heaven, and did cast them to the earth. And the dragon stood before the woman, which was ready to be delivered, for to devour her child as soon as it was born. So, those angels fell due to Satan's cunning ways. Remember, he was also wise and well spoken. Wisdom, in a sense, is beautiful and inspiring when it's told. So, the word beauty doesn't just mean looks, it probably can also mean traits such as well spoken, looks obviously, knowledge, wisdom, and music can also be beautiful. Now, he had all these talents and it was perfect. So the Bible said he was perfect until iniquity was found in him. So remember, was perfect is past tense. So it says he was perfect until iniquity was found in him. So beauty is what the world sees as perfect. We automatically cling to beauty. And there are different slangs that can be used like lit and sick. So these slangs, depending on the context of how the sentence or the word is being used, can also mean beautiful or perfect, or a variation of the word. See, the English language is very, very different. So music can also be beautiful, and there are many different genres of music, and we all love music. So when we see celebrities who are in the entertainment business, movies, music, it doesn't matter what, entertainment, magazine, models, there's something about what that person has done or created that clings to you individually. So to you, it's something about that person that is beautiful that you like. For example, this is just an example. I like the actress Eva Mendes because she's beautiful. I like Kevin Hart because he gives jokes and he's funny. So two different people, two different reasons why I would be entertained by them, if you understand what I'm saying. So the beauty of Kevin Hart is he's a professional comedian And the beauty that I found in Eva Mendes is because she's her looks. So two different reasons why I like these two different people. Now, this should explain the power of beauty and perfection. We can all be influenced by all things that are beautiful. Now, Instagram, Facebook, and all other social media are mediums that we can use to show off our own individual beauty, or some people say talent. And keep in mind that all our individual beauty is given to us by God. Some people call it talent. All things was given to us by God. All things that are beautiful and perfect, as I explained above. Even knowledge is a part of this beauty. So with knowledge, media was created, a very powerful medium that can spread to millions in a matter of days, sometimes hours. At first, it was created and it was controlled. Now anyone can use this mass spread of information. If I have 1 million followers on Instagram and made a video and post it, within minutes it can reach a couple thousands. Then in hours, hundreds of thousands. In days, the views can surpass even the number of people who follow me. That's the nature of like, share, and follow. Let's go over it one more time so you can get it. So I have a couple million, let's just say 100,000 followers on Instagram. I post a video. My 100,000 followers, they like my video and they share it among people who are not following me. Now, that video grabs, let's just say, a certain majority of people attention. Some may like it, some don't like it. But the ones who like it started following me, and that's how I gain more followers. And that's how my video can increase. The view of my videos can increase. That's why when you see a social media influencer post on their Instagram, they say like, share, and follow. So, in the same sense, if I receive good grace from God and I spread this news of God's good grace to someone else who doesn't know God, that grace, that news can be inspiring to that person. And then that person becomes a follower of Christ because I spread the news of God to him. This is why the Bible said there is nothing new under the sun. I like God. I share good grace, good information about God. God gains followers. Because I am not the one who's giving these good grace. It's God who's given me the good grace. So why would they follow me who's already received the grace? So they want to receive their own grace from God. So they're more likely would follow God. And that's the nature of like, share, and follow. That's how it's always been forever. Again, the Bible says this. There is nothing new under the sun. So followers is very important as well. If you think about it, as I said earlier, Satan needed followers who were the angels, and he used his beauty to influence them to do what? To turn from God. You get the point that I'm trying to make? So we know that if you're not serving God, you're serving Satan, right? Because Matthew 6:24 says, no one can serve two masters. See, it's perfectly okay to use these mediums, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Snapchat, Twitter, but how are you using these mediums? Are you allowing yourself to be used or to be influenced by God, or are you allowing yourself to be influenced by Satan? When you listen to music, popular songs such like WAP and all those other derogatory songs that, call women names and so forth and, influence bad behavior, are you being influenced by God? When you post your nudes and all those, photos on Facebook and Instagram just to gain more followers, are you being influenced by God? What purpose have you served to bring any man to God? So remember, Satan needed followers to turn away from God so they can live a free life. But all that freedom cost them something. And that something was them being cast out of heaven. So we as humans on earth are trying to get to heaven. So ask yourself, what does it take a man to gain the whole world and lose his only soul? Are you going to be influenced by God or continue being influenced by Satan and lose your only soul? See, there's a lot. There's a thing called social media influencers, as we all know. So, who are influencing them? See, many of them try to enhance their beauty to gain more followers, or to go to a extreme extent to gain more followers or more views. Satan tried to enhance himself to be above God. If we're not following the footsteps of Jesus, then who are we following in the footsteps of? Because obviously, as I said earlier, no one can serve two gods. So if you're not serving Jesus, then you're obviously serving the devil. And you're going to be walking in his direction, or are you going to walk in God's direction, in Jesus' direction? So ask yourself this, social media influencers. Are you allowing yourself to be influenced by God or by Satan? Who do you really serve? Because Satan was a self-loving angel who needed attention because he was wise, full of wisdom. He can sing, he can make great music. He probably was the best actor in heaven. Probably was awarded for it. Now, I'm not adding anything to the Bible, obviously. I'm just giving you an example of what self-love is. The only thing Satan probably wanted after all this was to rule and sit in God's chair. Now, if you're a Christian and say that you are being influenced by God and you have all these followers that were given, anytime that God tells you to do something with your social media influenced status, do not say to yourself, no, I won't do it because my followers wouldn't like that. No. And here is why. Here's the reason why. In 1 Samuel 15, God anointed Saul to become king, right? When God told Saul to kill the Amalekites, he told him to kill them all, spare no one. So Saul killed a few and spared a few. Saul even spared the king of the Amalekites. He spared the best of the animals. And here is where he went wrong. Here's where Saul went wrong. In Saul's eyes, he thought this was right. And out of his good intentions, he wanted to offer these animals to God as a sacrifice. Also, Saul feared the people. And that is why he brought them animals back. But God did not want the sacrifice of the animals. God wanted Saul to obey his words fully. And out of this disobedience, God tore Israel away from Saul and gave it to his neighbor. So if God tells you to do something and you disobey, he will surely remove himself from you, just like he did to Saul. The moment you change is the moment you become self-loving and are no longer being influenced by God. And the Bible said in Jeremiah 23 and verse 1, woe to the shepherd who destroy and scatter the sheep of my pasture, declares the Lord. Some people say they only here to spread jokes, but when you spread jokes, right, you normalize bad behavior. Remember what happened to Chadwick? How people quickly make memes not knowing that he was actually sick? And this meme was made so that whoever made it can gain more followers despite how it may tarnish someone else? This is why the Bible said, those who revile won't make it to heaven. You think I'm kidding? Okay, 1 Corinthians 6 and verse 10, nor thieves, nor the greedy, nor the drunkard, nor revilers, nor swindlers will inherit the kingdom of heaven. Now, let's pause for a second and look up what the word revilers mean, or the word revile. Reviler. To revile is to criticize in an abusive or hostile way, or to spread negative information about somebody. When you verbally attack someone and call him names and say mean things, this is an example of reviling. Is reviling not the nature of jokes? Was it not Elisha who called the bear to eat up the children who were making fun of him? See, God is not one to mess with. It's him who created us, not us who created him. Also, for example, when you say black people are like this, or white people are like that, or Asian people be like, are you not creating a stereotype and you're spreading this stereotype amongst everybody else, amongst all your followers? Especially to people who did not grow up in your culture and do not see this as a joke. Ask yourself, are you following the nature of Satan's fallen pride, leading people away from God, using your beauty? Or are you allowing yourself to be influenced by God to bring people closer to God? Ask yourself these questions. Thank you guys. This concludes today's video. And as I say, repent, for the kingdom of heaven is at hand.